What is going on, everyone? In today's episode, I'm going to show you just how simple it is to make your own soil blocks. We've done this in the past. I've had a lot of questions about it. It is really simple and it's a great way to grow your seeds, especially ones that are fast growing and ready to go in the ground in about 2 to 3 weeks. So with that, let's get going. This right here in my hand is an MIgardener's 2" by 2" soil blocker. It creates 8 of them, so you're gonna get 8 2" by 2" soil blocks every time you compress it. Now, the advantage to growing in soil blocks is that there's a couple things. One is you don't actually need containers. The soil block is the container. You'll see in a second, it's really super cool. The second thing is that it helps to air prune the roots. We talk about all the time how when you grow in like fabric pots, the fabric pots will actually help to air prune the roots. That's because roots will grow out, they will touch an air barrier, and because roots need to find soil, it will terminate the root. It'll essentially dry it off, essentially killing it, right? Not killing the whole root system, just that root tip. And then where it kills it off, it will actually fork and create 2 new roots. And so you'll have a beautiful web of incredible root structure on this tiny little seedling, giving you a much more resilient and stronger, faster growing seedling when you throw it out into the garden. Now, I prefer, and I know a lot of people, this kind of varies, but I prefer to grow in soil blocks with seeds that are fast maturing, seeds that grow really quickly, because I can grow them and I can throw them out into the garden relatively quickly. There are going to be some people that say, well, I grow tomatoes in soil blocks. I grow peppers in soil blocks. That's fantastic if you do, and that's great. I commend you. For me, though, I find that I rather grow my tomatoes and peppers in actual containers just because they are very rigid walls. And soil blocks have a tendency over time to slightly degrade and break down and kind of crumble a little bit. And so you're losing your structure over time. But for something like lettuce or beets or carrots, something that you are going to start quickly and move quickly outside into your garden, absolutely can be an amazing option. Broccolis, cabbages, they sprout quickly. They sprout in 3 to 4 days. You're moving them out in your garden in like 2 or 3 weeks in early spring. It is an awesome option to save you a ton of money and get healthier seedlings in the process. So with that, I'm going to show you just how simple it is to make soil blocks, because all you're going to need is a really good, well-sifted seed starting mix. We just made this. If you haven't seen how to make your own seed starting mix, you can either go buy some. We use either this or Pro Mix, or we make our own. We just did a video on how to make your own. We got that right here. And then we got some water. You're going to want a good amount of water, as you'll see. And then you're going to want to get your soil blocker of choice. We actually sell an 8 blocker and a 4 blocker over at MIgardener. I like the 2" by 2" size because it accommodates most crops that you're going to be growing. And then you're also going to want to get some type of tray. Now you could use a standard flat, or I really like these nice long, these are actually drip trays for like bottom watering houseplants and stuff, but I love to put my soil blocks in these. It's actually a really handy way to grow them, and they fit on my table. They fit on my table perfectly because they're about the same width as my table. So with that, those are the ingredients you need, or materials you need. Very simple to do. Coming in close, I'll show you just how simple it is to make soil blocks. As you can see here, we got ourselves a pretty loose, crumbly seed starting mix. It's moderately damp because we just made it in our previous video, but it needs to be much more damp. You should be able to squeeze water out of it, because the idea is when you take your soil blocker, you're going to smash it into the soil, and it's going to compress and compress. The more you rake it through the soil, it's going to compress, and it's basically going to make a little cube. And you want that cube to be as compressed as possible so that it comes out nice and clean and gives you a good block. So we're going to add a good amount of water here to this seed starting mix. So that, again, we have a nice kind of, not soupy, it doesn't need to be crazy soupy, but we want a good amount of excess water in here so we can get a good compression. Let's see how that works. Kind of a feel, it's kind of a feel thing. That was good. That's good. It should definitely be kind of like a mud pie. Basically, if you've been a kid and you've played in the mud, that's the consistency you're looking for. Then you're gonna take your soil blocker, and it's got a really great handle here. You just kind of compress it in, squeeze it, and smush it. And all that excess water is going to come out here through the top holes. I'm just adding a tiny bit more soil here. I did a test block, and I noticed that it was a little too damp. And like I said, it's a feel thing. You should be able to squeeze water out really easily, but you want it to be able to compress and compact into an ice block. So that's kind of That's feeling close to right. So we're just gonna take this here, we're gonna take our blocker, we're gonna smash it into the soil, kind of twist it back and forth. Beautiful. See, look at that. Nice compressed blocks. And then we're gonna take it over to our tray. We're gonna set it down. And we're going to we're gonna press down like this and pull up with our fingers. It's kind of, you're pushing down and pulling up in the same motion, because what we're doing is we're going to get a nice consistent block when we do that. And it's very satisfying, just like that. And we do it again and we repeat. Beautiful. And you repeat again. Might need a little more soil here. It's starting to get a little soupy. Last one here. Give it a press down and pull up. So fun. Love it. Very cool. And there we go. Now you have got 24 beautiful compressed blocks. Check that out. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That is the coolest thing in the world. I absolutely love it. And because our soil blocker here has these little divots here, little dimples, that helps to indent the soil block when it's compressed so you can put your seeds in. Absolutely love that. So cool. So there we go. It's as simple as that. It just takes a little bit of practice, and practice makes perfect. And even when you do it a lot, like myself, I probably make, I don't know, 150, 200 of these a year. I still have to kind of finesse the moisture and kind of get the compaction right. But I'll tell you what, when you get it, it is so satisfying. And again, the secret is having the right amount of moisture, but also having a well-sifted seed starting mix. If it's got a lot of chunks and clumps in it, you're gonna have a really hard time finding yourself getting a nice compacted block like that. You're only going to get really good results from a well-sifted seed starting mix. And now it is as simple as taking your seeds, and like I said, I love to do this with these fast turnaround crops. Take your seeds, place them inside the divot of your soil block, and you're on your way to seed starting. Now you can put these on a heat mat. If you have seeds that need a heat mat, you can put these on a heat mat. Just know that these are going to dry out quite a lot faster because they're exposed on all angles to evaporation. And you want to keep nice consistent moisture in your blocks so that you have consistent germination. Another thing to consider is when you have your blocks and the plants start to grow, you want to make sure that you have a little bit of space in between each block, because the roots from one block can grow into another block if they're really crammed close together. If that does happen, it's not uncommon for me, because it does happen to me as well. It's not uncommon to take a little knife, a little serrated knife, kind of cut through some of those roots and cut the blocks loose, and then you're good to go. But that is really all it takes to understanding soil blocking. It's a ton of fun, saves a ton of money, and I'll tell you what, I absolutely love it. Now, I know the final question you are going to probably ask is, well, Luke, I saw different size soil blocks. Is there a benefit to 1 inch? Is there a benefit to the 3 inch? There really is no tremendous benefit. You can get more, if you go with the 1 inch block, you can get more blocks in a given space, meaning you can start more seeds, but it does you no good if you have to hold on to them for longer because there's not a lot of room for them to grow. If you want to just start seeds and throw them outside, sure, go with the 1 inch block. I personally find that I have the best success with not only the blocks holding up, but being able to start the widest variety of things and getting the most efficiency out of a 2 inch block. That's kind of the sweet spot. 1 inch I find is too small. 3 inch I find is a little overkill. 2 inch is just right. It's the Goldilocks. It's just right. So I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all will try soil blocking. Again, you can get all of these things over at MIgardener.com so you can have more fun in the garden. And even if you don't decide to soil block, I appreciate you just hanging out with me. Appreciate hanging out and learning a new gardening method, because this is a gardening method that I learned about 5 years ago. And since I started using it, I actually learned about it, believe it or not, through Daniel Arms from Arms Family Homestead. So if you go check out, they're another amazing gardening channel, or they do a lot of other things as well, but go tell them I sent you. They used to do a ton of gardening content, and since they have just blossomed into doing a bunch of other stuff. But I actually learned about soil blocking through Daniel about 5 years ago. And since then, I absolutely love it. I truly do love it. And so there you go. It's as easy as that. Ton of fun, really inexpensive, and can save a ton of money. So as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow bigger, and we'll catch you all on the next episode. See ya. Bye. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed, consider clicking this one. You'll probably enjoy it just as much. I want to thank you for your viewership because without it, this channel would not be as amazing as it is. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. It's free and we upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. We also have vegetable seeds, fertilizer, or tools. If you need any of those, consider visiting MIgardener.com. Links will be in the description box below. We've got you covered. And as always, we'll see you all in the garden. Take care. Bye.